for the time's sake, we're at about 1 hour mark. So, George, what is your next feature?
Well, I think that there's a lot of ways that they've added some kind of sort of veterancy or unit upgrading or just upgrading anything in the game. But I think that, again, sticking with the Shogun 2 theme, there are ways that you could increase this kind of level of not customization in a cosmetic way, but customization on like a tailoring a unit to your play style. So, for example, in Shogun 2, you have the in Avatar Conquest, you have access to the standard units, but you also have access to making your units veterans. And with these veterans, if you don't know already, you can level them up essentially by playing with these units, and then you can assign specific traits, etc., to them. It might be increasing the ammo, which wouldn't be a thing in arena, but increasing like the range or the melee defense or armor or something of the unit. And it could be either outside or inside the game, inside the battles. I would assume outside the battles, like it is in Shogun 2. And again, you could make it just like they've done with the commander trees, which I think they've done really well, where you have these trade-offs and you can't simply just max out a whole tree. And something like that for a unit, you'd be able to have that trade-off between, say, like speed or armor. And I mean, I know which one Mistry would choose, but other people might disagree with him. They might decide they want the armor instead, and something like that.
So you just spill the beans. What I would pick? How dare you?
I did, yeah. I'm trying to think where I was. And so it would add that kind of thing where rather than just, oh, it's another armored legionary, oh, and he's Caesar and I'm Sulla, oh, well, that's the only difference between our units, then having something, just minor tweaks, just like Mistry mentioned earlier with the banners system, having that additional level of customizability, all these things stacking up together, you could make your unit like quite different from other people's.
Yeah, just as like the idea of banners, I also like the idea of veterancy, but definitely how I would implement that, right? I would implement it such a way that it doesn't actually favor those who have grinded those veterancy upgrades. So like a fully upgraded veterancy unit is still not better than the base unit from a player who just started playing that unit. It's just different. So I would just give the veterancy bonuses like a set of skills you can pick from, and each of those skills have their advantages and disadvantages. Or maybe skills is not really the best name for it. Let's just call them upgrades or whatever. Just like you have upgrades with equipment, and that's also one way of distinguishing the units, where in terms of archers, for example, you have one bow that has shorter range but better damage, and then the other bow that has longer range but worse damage. Have something like that in terms of veterancy as well. So I don't know, have 3 veterancy levels or whatever, and 5 different upgrades to pick from, and you can, after reaching the veterancy level 3, you can pick 3 out of 5 of those, and something like that. And they will still be, balanced. It wouldn't be blown out of proportion, so you couldn't really stack it too much to make the unit broken, maybe something like that. But it would add, a tangible, customizable option for how you want to actually play your units, and also wouldn't make someone crush the other player even though they have the same unit, but just one guy played the unit way more. So that's my input. Astolfo, do you have any?
Don't make speed too overpowered. As a melee infantry, I can tell you if you don't have a charge, your life is already a living hell. So if your general doesn't have a charge on your unit, its speed will exponentially become the strongest stat in the game. But other than that, no. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, that was specific. So anything more to add? I think I don't have anything. George?
No, I think we've covered it pretty well.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next one. Astolfo.